Doing the last gear lube change on the 2020 KTM 300 XCW TPI. I'm Officer Oil. When I'm not fighting crime, I'm fighting friction. So I'm also going to be analyzing the oil. This is one of the Oil Analyzer's prepaid kits. So I'm really curious because this is the longest I've ever been on this transmission fluid, on this gear lube. I've gone 42 hours. The book says to change it at 40, and I got lazy, I got busy, and I checked. I said, oh my gosh, it's been 42 hours. Let me go ahead and get it changed. And I'm really curious because I want to analyze the oil as well, just to see kind of what it looks like and let the lab tell me, good, bad, or ugly. I've analyzed, if you watch the other videos, I analyzed this oil, both of these oils actually, the dirt bike transmission fluid, the dirt bike transmission fluid here, as well as the dirt bike 10W50. I analyzed both of those at about 21 hours and they came back very, very good. I actually was more impressed with the dirt bike transmission fluid, and that's what I've been running since. So I've got the bike all warmed up, and I mentioned this was the last time because the bike is for sale. It's all cleaned up. I'm going to get rid of it and get it to a new home. It's been an awesome bike. It runs great, but it's time for an upgrade. So I've got the bike all warmed up. I went out, spun around, did some figure eights, got the transmission all nice and warm, and we'll go ahead and pull. Oh, so there's 180 hours on this and about 2,500 miles. And again, 42 hours of abuse of hardcore riding on this transmission fluid. So I've cracked the oil fill cap so I can get better airflow. I put it in there, just maybe give it a half turn so it doesn't fall out, but I can still get that airflow. And then coming on down here, I've rigged up this little, it's just a piece of laundry detergent. It was a laundry detergent jug that I cut so it can slide in there because I got to get to that 13 mil nut right there. And it just makes a little trough and lets the oil drain down. So little kind of hillbilly engineering that I did, but it really, really works great. Let me get my oil analysis kit, and this is the KIT02. Comes with a prepaid UPS label on it. This is my favorite kit because you can just hand it right to the UPS driver, put it in one of the drop boxes, and you'll get your report back. And usually about a week, they'll email it to you. So let me open this up. So all the instructions, super easy to do this, but this is what I'm after right here. Here's the form you fill out, easy. Here's the UPS label right there. And I'll fill that out. And here is the container that I need. So let me get that ready. All right. Let me have that ready. Oh, my dog's helping. Say hi, Steel. All right, 13 mil socket. Oh, there we go. Crack that. And have my analysis container ready to catch. Make sure you have this all clean so it doesn't come down here and get into your container. It could throw off the results. There we go. Catch some of that. Okay, here it is. There you go, 42 hours. Looks pretty normal to me. I don't see any metal shavings, just some clutch material. But that trough works pretty well. There you go. So we've got some clutch material on there, perfectly normal. The magnetic drain plug's doing its job. But again, I'm looking for any metal, and I'm not seeing nothing shiny. Again, just pretty normal wear and tear, if you ask me. No metal shavings, anything like that. And that's it. So what do you think? What's that look like to you? Again, analysis is going to be, that'll take all the voodoo out of it. But what is your gear lube? What does your gear oil, your transmission fluid look like after 42 hours of abuse? Comment below. Yeah. Nothing unusual here. The gravity is my friend here. I like to lean this bike over, try to get as much of the old out as I can. Let me see here, I lean this. There you go, some more drip. Let that drip out of there. Lean into it. There we go. Do that a couple times. Whoa, bike sliding. Sliding on the cardboard. Be careful. All right, so that helped. It helped a little bit. I got a couple more drops out of it. While we wait, I'm going to clean off the magnetic drain plug with some AMSOIL Brake and Parts Cleaner. There we go. Take off this old crush washer. Place that. There we go. Wipe that off. And nothing shiny at all. That's just the wet. Just that clutch material. I'm not seeing any metal shavings. And then some brake cleaner. There we go. All right, get that cleaned up. Nice new shiny crush washer. There we go. Still getting a couple more drips out of there. But I'm about to call it. So 13 mil. Put that back in. Here's my little homemade
trough that I came up with. Really does help a lot. And torque spec is 20 Newton meters. Put that on. Let me just double check. 20 Newton meters. Perfect. There we go. Nice and tucked, nice and snug. All right. So take a look at the oil. That's it there. Yeah, I don't see anything. Slosh this around a little bit. Yeah, nothing. Just some... No, yeah, just some clutch material there. That was... Also could be some residual from another break-in on a different dirt bike. But... see what the analysis says.
So I'm going to be filling it up with 2 different dirt bike oils. Not the best recommendation, but I didn't have enough. I actually want to use this up. And this is my favorite, is the Dirt Bike Synthetic Transmission Fluid. It's an 80 weight. It is awesome. It gives you that constant clutch feel for any of your dirt bike's transmissions, those 2 strokes. Not 4 strokes, 2 strokes. It's the Jasso MA spec, so it's great for the woods to give you that constant clutch feel, excellent transmission, clutch performance, gear protection. This is my preferred, but I had some of the Dirt Bike 1050 that I'm going to end up using up here. So this is going to be for more for your 4 strokes, which it is wet clutch compatible. There's no friction modifiers in it, and it also meets the Jasso MA spec, and that's really what I'm looking for. You want to have that Jasso spec. Now, the big debate in the KTM manual, it says to use a 15W50 and a Jasso MA2. Now, I've cleared this with tech services. I went all the way to the top to the engineers, and I even verified, hey, can I combine a little bit of this? And they said, yeah, you'll be fine. So I'm going to use it up here, clean up the shelf a little bit. But the big difference between an MA and an MA2 is the MA2, it's a harder shift, which is a little bit better for road riding. You want it to shift faster, where on a dirt bike, you're out there slipping the clutch. So you want it's a different clutch feel. And that's why I personally I believe, and that's why AMSOIL runs the Jasso MA spec in these and not the MA2, because it's better it's built for the application, out there woods riding. So to fill this up here, I spun the bike around. It's going to be it's 0.85 quarts. So I'm going to go ahead and fill up my measuring cup here and get this all filled in. I'm going to use up, I'm a little short, so I've got about 20 ounces here. I'm going to get that dumped in. Here we go. All right, so I need 27 fluid ounces. Here we go, liquid gold. Let me go up here to 10. All right, there's 10. Get the first 10 dumped in. And wait for it. Ah, gosh, that feels good. There we go. Let it drip here and get the other 17 ounces. All right, next 10. Spin that around. Here we go.
All right, next 10. And just a tad bit here. I don't think I had it quite level, but about 1 ounce. All right. So I know I had 20 ounces in this. That was what was on the quart. So I didn't have this quite level. So that was what was in the bottle. Get that out. There we go. All right, 20 ounces of the dirt bike transmission fluid are in there. And then there's about 5 ounces here. So let's get this. I'm going to use up this. Get all that out of there. What do we got here? All right, so yep, about 6 ounces. I'm about 1 ounce short. Dump that in. There we go. And then I need 1 ounce out of this fresh one here, totaling 27 ounces. Oops. Dump that in. Let that drip. So to be sure, what you can do is there's an oil level check right here. Even says oil. Just unscrew that, level the bike, and if you get a little stream out of there, then you know you're full. But I'm going to trust my math. I got this right, 27 ounces, 0.85 quarts. So that's it. It's in there. It's going to be ready for another many great hours, several hours for the next new owner there. And I'm curious, which one would you run? Which one do you run? Again, I cleared this with the engineers. I went to the nerds and I asked, I said, hey, I got a little of this, want to combine this. So you're going to be completely fine in that transmission. The most important is you're meeting that JASO MA spec. This is just going to work for 4 strokes. This is going to be dedicated for the transmission. So I want to run this, but I just didn't quite have enough. So if you're changing oil here in the garage, in the driveway, you're a do-it-yourselfer and you'd like to get some AMSOIL. AMSOIL is what I do to support my family outside of police work. So everybody calls me, again, Officer Oil. And if you would like to have AMSOIL drop ship to your doorstep, you can save up to 25%. We have an excellent program called the Preferred Customer Program where it works kind of like a BJ's or Sam's Club membership, and you'll get access to the entire store at discount, and then there's always great perks. You get $5 back for every 100 you spend. They cover the cost of the membership. It's $20 a year or a 6-month trial for $10 with a $500 order history over the whole year. Lots of great perks with this. Or if you have maybe a fleet, if you have equipment or vehicles, we can set you up on with our commercial program to get even bigger discounts, better pricing. Or if you have maybe a repair shop or a retail store, again, we have even more advantageous programs. You can get advertising support, better discounts, co-op credit, great programs there. But
Please comment below, share, like, subscribe, looking to build the channel. This is what I do to support the family and the kids outside of fighting crime. And my referral number, you'll see it there on the screen. If you do move forward with AMSOIL, plug in my referral number. It really helps me get credit for the sale. And thank you for watching. And I'm super excited to see what's going to come out of this oil analysis. So stay tuned for that. We'll get that updated. I'll make a video on that as well. Thank you, Officer Oil. What do I say, as the Germans love to say? Prost!